No, that's not it. Shit. Not me burping and fucking shit all over this live. Oh, man. Nobody saw, but the recording will see. So if you're watching the recording, you're welcome. Too funny. Okay, so I'm doing this, setting this up. Hello, hello, hello. Hey, Anne-Marie. How's it going? How's your knee? Oh. Oh, God. How's it going, folks? Thanks for sharing the live. Still have 6 months of recovery. Good goddess, that's a long time. Hello, Mama Raccoon. Hello, Elena. Hello, Crafty Cottage Boutique. 1 year or more. Holy moly. Holy moly. That's quite the thing. So, in case anyone's wondering, this is the Oakbridge Q&A. So, we are doing question and answers about your mediumship development, anything related to that. We are not doing readings. That's later. I read on Mondays around 7. So 6:37 just depends on when I get on. So yeah. So would love to answer any of your questions regarding your mediumship development, psychic development, anything at all literally related to spiritual things. Anything at all, you just put the question in the question box. Question: if I used to see my dead relatives 5 years ago, why did it stop? That's a good question. It could be so many different reasons. Some of the reasons can be stress in life. Could be that was just the time period that you needed so that you could feel a sense of comfort and connection with them. Could also be that you perhaps are trying or that's blocking it. It could be because it's just not necessarily needed anymore. Yeah, so there's so many different answers to that. Thanks for sharing the live. Can you get it back? Absolutely. Yeah, you can absolutely get it back. It's just you have to kind of develop it through your mediumistic awareness or becoming sensitive. When you saw the dead relatives, was it freshly after a passing, or was it just like just randomly started happening? Oh, I always do that. I always go to tilt my thing down, and then I end up knocking my thingy over. Okay, there we go. If you see me lift my eyebrows like 700 times, that's me just being distracted by my perfectly shaped eyebrows. They just recently got redone, so they're like perfectly perfect. Am I going live tonight? I dislike not working. Can't focus on this. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I am. I'm a little bit. We'll see. We'll see. Most likely, yes. That's usually the plan. Try to be somewhat consistent. So yeah. Yes, after passing my grandpa 10 years after he died twice. Yeah. That usually happens after a passing, or at least not usually, but it can happen for people after a passing that they start to become aware of spirit a little bit more because they're more open, they're more sensitive. I'm doing pretty good. I'm a little bit tired. I'm a little bit worn out to some degree. So, yeah, so I'm just here. My brows look better than yours. Oh, I'm sure yours look great. And we can always just go get them threaded. Thread those brows. What did Michael do on his live? Oh, he just looked at his eyebrows the whole time and lifted them up and did different things with them. Thanks, Alina. Thanks for sending the energy. Yeah, so I'm here to answer your questions. So bring your questions, baby. Tell me what you want to know about. Next time, save what they remove so I can have them. Honestly, it's probably a lot. I get really bushy, big eyebrows, but I'm gonna try to keep them up now because I've been really lazy about like physical appearance, and I'm gonna change that. I'll start doing my hair, not wearing a hat all the time. You know, do things, make my beard look nicer. Tell us about January courses. Sure. So in January, we'll be starting Foundations 1 again. We'll be starting Expansions A or Expansions 1. And we'll be starting the new Advancing course as well. So there's pretty much everything starts in January if you're interested. But also, if you're interested, on Mondays at 3 o'clock, I have a small beginners group. Small group mentoring beginners group that I have 2 spots to fill. So if you are interested in starting your mediumship journey before January, you can visit Oakbridge or mediummichaelmayo.com /mentoring. If you go to mediummichaelmayo.com/mentoring, you will be able to do that. So yeah, if you're interested, it's Pacific time, so 3 p.m. 3 p.m. Pacific. I have a group that will be starting, and it's a small group, and we'll take you through Foundations series. So if you are interested in that, do let me know. I saw my grandfather's son walking along his route on his morning walk 10 years after he died. Yeah, that could have been a psychic impression as well, if that was something that he always used to do. But that would be objective clairvoyance, is what we call that. How much are the readings with the newbies? So we don't charge for readings. I don't charge for readings on lives and things like that, but I'll be doing readings later tonight. Right now, it's this question and answer about your mediumship. How can I combine spirituality and addiction recovery coaching? Oh, that's a really good question to ask there. So it depends. What kind of spirituality are you interested in? I think that addiction recovery is often bolstered by some sense of spiritual awareness, a connection to something bigger than yourself. Obviously, addiction has got multiple facets of why we become addicted to things, different emotions, different pains, different things that we need to grieve, avoidance of grief, really grief and pain. That's largely it. So I feel like if we bring in some sort of spiritual connection to something bigger than ourselves, it gives us a sense of greater purpose and meaning in our life. And I think that can at times help to lessen that sense of desire for addiction, whatever the addiction is, because we're trying to avoid something with addiction, right? We're trying to, obviously, I'm very familiar with addiction. I have a lot of that in my family, so there's a lot of pain there that needs to be resolved. So I think it's spirituality can play a good role, but not if it's like airy fairy bullshit spirituality, because that's just not going to do anything. You have to have it grounded in reality. Annie, you say at Oakbridge, I mean. Do you mean the readings for our advancing students? Is that what you're referring to? Can you develop a child? You would not develop a child. You would want to just kind of hold space and explain that there's nothing to be afraid of, et cetera, et cetera. But yeah, you wouldn't develop a child. It's normal for kids to see and experience spirit as a young age, but if they're experiencing scary things, that's just their interpretation of the experience through this lens. I have to check what just turned on. Something's getting super loud over here. I think when my cats turned on the TV, he was like, "Put on that cat TV." Actually, I probably should put that cat TV on for him. Yeah, but it's very common for kids to experience the spirit world, and so you don't develop them. You just help them to understand what's going on, and you support them in making them understand this isn't something scary. Does your pain or sickness affect your readings? Do you mean me giving a reading, or do you mean if someone came to get a reading, would that impact their reading? Do I teach any healing modalities? Not yet, but I do healing modalities. Well, one specifically. So yeah, Annie, if you're wanting to work with the new mediums, you can go to oakbridgeinstitute.org and you will see a link on the top that says book a reading, and you can book with one of our advancing students. They're $35. Yes, can pain or sickness impact your readings giving the reading? Yes, for sure, 100%. If you can't concentrate, if you are having trouble with that kind of thing, then it most certainly can. Other questions? You're welcome, Spiritual Lane. But you know what's also interesting is many times the spirit world will eliminate whatever your pain or issue is while you're working. And then when you're done, it comes back. So that's kind of an interesting little phenomenon. Sometimes you get a healing actually out of it. I remember I was really not feeling well at Arthur Findlay College, and I was just like, just felt not good, maybe like I was getting sick. And then I did a reading demonstration in front of everybody. And when I was done with that, all of that went away. It never came back. So that's kind of fun. Can you learn mediumship if you struggle with severe anxiety? Yes, you can. However, mediumship will trigger your anxiety 100%. So you will have anxiety, not because there's anything to fear from the spirit world, but because you have to perform. And if you have any kinds of performance anxiety or that sort of thing, or just in general, mediumship's going to trigger you. And so, you may want to have that a little bit more under control prior to jumping in, especially if you're saying it's severe. It can definitely impact it. You're welcome. I would say if you want to start somewhere, I would start by sitting in the power. That is going to help with your anxiety, and that is also going to help you to start to calm that and get into a sensitive, relaxed state. But also remember, anxiety has a lot to do with avoidance of an emotion we don't want to experience. So what are we trying to keep away? That's where we want to go, so that we can actually feel the feeling and move past it. Other questions? Other thoughts and feelings. How was my weekend? My weekend is my Monday. So, although I did go horseback riding yesterday morning and also went to dinner, which was both fun and nice. So, yeah, got to horseback ride, which I always love. Always is very fulfilling. Hello, Mariola. I got a notice for this Oakbridge community Q&A thing for 2:00 when it's already much later than that. Anyway, do you ever take your vitals before healing and then after? No, I've never done that. That seems kind of fun. Corey, thankfully I get to ride on what are called gated horses. So they have a different gait, and it's not so blop, 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 blop. It's more like blop, 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 blop. So it kind of feels like you're on a little motor. It's just going, it's like purring along. It feels totally different. And it's lovely. In fact, I love it when they get into their little thing going on. Do you participate in paranormal hunts? I have gone on paranormal investigations before, sure. Do I regularly participate? No, but have I done it? Yes. I want to sign up for expansions next year. I completed Foundations 1, 2, 3. How do I know if I'm ready? You're ready, Anne Marie. I already know. You're definitely ready. Just let us know. Send us an email so we make sure we save you a spot. Janelle's just seconding. That's better. We call it the sore butt crotch. That's hilarious. Yeah. Thankfully, if I don't wiggle around too much, it doesn't give me much butt crotch pain. I got a lot of padding back there, so something to bounce off of. Can mediums give you advice for the future? They could if they were working psychically. And spirit can sometimes give you information about the future. But, it just depends on what they can perceive and they're aware of, they being the spirit, like your loved ones and that sort of thing. But your guides can talk to you about the future. Your helpers, that sort of thing. And then also, we can pick up that information psychically as well. Oops. I just do. Oh, Lord above. Sorry, I'm trying to see what this other question is. Hello. I'm uncovering.
Hey, Michael. How can I help?
Demons. Not now. Go away. I don't need you to help me out, Siri. No. That's enough. Right. So, anyway, I don't know why I started talking like an Australian, mate. I have no idea. Fair dinkum. Anyway, hello, I'm uncovering my mediumship, and I wanted to know if you experience healing from some limited belief. Will a spirit come and seek help in healing what you just healed? Hope it makes sense. That kind of makes sense. I'm assuming what you're saying is, will there be some, will a spirit come help you heal from a limiting belief? I think the experience of spirit will help you to heal from limiting beliefs. And so just the sense of being in their presence, being with them, and recognizing that there's nothing to fear from the spirit world, that it is only love, and that they're there to support you, and getting to feel that love, I think is in and of itself very healing. Can there be guides and helpers who join you or make themselves known to help you learn and heal? Absolutely. 100%. Bailey. Hi, Bay. Hi, Bay Lyle. Hi. Can multiple head traumas trigger mediumship ability? I think you can have mediumship ability without the head traumas, but potentially. I mean, things do happen that are interesting. I was awoken from a bad dream last night, and a whisper in my ear. Was that spirit guide or past loved one? I don't know. Could you understand what they said? Are you and Miranda going to do a Halloween table tipping night? We are not, as far as I know. I will be out and about on Halloween, being my gay little self. So yeah, I will be doing other things on Halloween. But maybe we could do it on the Day of the Dead or something. Oh, you have flame point Siamese? How cute. These are seal. Honestly, they live somewhere between seal and chocolate point, but I think they're really truly seal points. Will you be going live later tonight? Yes, most likely. 99%. Not 99. I'll say I'm 75% certain I'm going live later. Have you ever experienced twitching or muscle spasms when meditation sitting in the power? Absolutely. That's a very common experience. Thoughts on past life regression? I'm curious if it would be beneficial to mediumship. No, I don't think that past life regression would do anything for your mediumistic awareness. Really, the thing that helps mediumship awareness is learning to become still, passive, and receptive. Learning how to get out of your thinking mind. That really is it. Do I feel fear? It depends on what thing. Fear, yes. Do I ever feel fear? Yes, but not anything ever to do with spirit or the other world. Only physical things cause me fear. Pig dressed up. Oh, you should have seen my costume from the other Halloween event I just went to. She was slutty. I don't think I can actually show you the costume that I'm going to be wearing for the next one, Janelle. At least not in any public way. Can we purchase gift cards for Oakbridge with the advanced students? What you can do is, rather than purchase a gift card, you can book a reading for someone else. Rachel says, Michael, I love the book. Yay! I'm so glad, Rachel. Thank you. I'm so glad you loved it. I meant that question about fear for the person that asked about the spirit. I meant that question about fear for the person that asked about the question. I'm gonna need you to ask that one more time. I'm sorry, Compassion Dragon. My brain is not picking up on what the question is. Just rewrite it, because then I'll be able to answer it better. What can I do to help build a strong connection with my guides? You can do the connecting with your guide meditation that's on my website at mediummichaelmayo.com. Your book was amazing. Big eye opener. Thanks, Rachel. I'm so glad. I'm so glad you felt it opened the eyes. That's the hope of it. Let me see what I have here over on Instagram. I got some people asking some questions. Let's see. What are they? Hi, Michael. Why is it that I can get certain evidence in one reading but not get it in others? For example, get a memory and something that is currently happening in a situation's life, but not with another reading. Great question. So essentially, Mary, it's number one, there shouldn't really be a need to get the same kinds of information in every reading. Every reading is very different and unique, and it's going to have its own things. What's important to the communicator? What's important to the spirit person in their life? What's needed for the sitter? So really, it's not about it needing to be the same. Now, I get what you're asking is like the consistency. You're kind of wanting to know why isn't there as much consistency as you'd like. And the thing is that comes through development, right? We learn how to get consistent information through consistent development. And it's when we can get the consistency through our mediumship development is when we work with the public. But what I would recommend is not being attached to what kinds of information come through, but rather focus on being surrendered, relaxed, and letting go. Varying levels of tension is the biggest reason why we have varying levels of information. So when we have lots of tension, we get less information. So we may not have access to the same kinds of information that we had before. So it's really important to really focus more on the surrender, less about the information. The surrender, the information will be a byproduct of the solid surrender. They said a spirit came to them in the night. I was just asking if they felt fear. Got it. I don't know if they responded. Mary, hopefully that helps. I'm currently attending an online healing class from the UK. It's called Spirituals National Union for healing mediumship. Is that what you did when you helped the lady with her headache? No. So I learned through Charlie Goldsmith. That was how I learned how to do healing. Yeah. I'm very familiar with the Spiritualist National Union. I have gone and worked there quite a lot. So yeah, it's the spiritualist group, I guess you call it, union in the UK. Does your program include opportunities to read the public? If so, how long or how many times? It depends on which part you're involved in, Andrea. So if you are in, you will not read the public in our program if you're starting off just from foundations, the very beginning, you will not be reading the public for about 2 years. So you won't start reading the public until you get to what's called advancing. So there's foundations 1, 2, 3, and then there is expansion 1 and 2, and then there's advancing 1 and 2. And once you get to advancing, then you start to read the public. In the first 5 months, you read them once a month for 5 months. Once a month for 5 months. And then in the second half of advancing, you do 3 readings a week. You do 3 readings a week for 5 months. So yeah, and then you do 30-minute readings. So yeah, you are pretty prepared when it comes to actually doing the readings when we get there. Up until that point, you're reading other students and that sort of thing. I guess I'm wondering, when do students get an opportunity to read others? Do they trade with other students? Correct. Yes. So you are reading other students all the time. in our development. That's how you practice what you're learning. So pretty much always, you're pretty much always reading them. I think in the first 4 weeks of foundations, or maybe the first 3 weeks of foundations, you don't read anyone of foundations 1. And then after that, you're always reading every single class. Just as a reminder, I do have I do have 2 slots open on Mondays at 3 o'clock for small group mentoring. So if anyone is interested in doing that, do send me an email at mediummichaelmayo@gmail.com. This is for beginners or people that want to take Foundations 1. So yeah. Oh, that's cool, Phoenix. Amazing. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I think if I were to give you my honest feedback, Phoenix, be very cautious with the teachers connected to the SNU. Not all of them are made equal, is what I will say. There are some there that I think don't do any good for students. In fact, I have my students who will sometimes go there and come back and be totally messed up because of the stupid things that they're told at the SNU. That being said, there are some really, really great teachers there. However, many of them just recently left because there's a big kind of drama that's happening with all of that. So many of the best teachers actually don't even work there anymore. So I would just give you a little bit of caution working there, working with them, just because I cannot no longer speak to the quality and the level of their ability. Because literally all of just a month ago or 2 months ago, there was a big bunch of people who left all at once because they were unhappy with the president of the SNU. So, yeah. Do you focus on mediumistic readings, connect with folks who transition, or psychic readings too? When you're taking courses with us for mediumship, we're focusing on loved ones in spirit. Specifically, we do also teach psychism. However, we're not running that course right now. You define the difference between mediumship and psychism is if it's mediumship, it's coming from a spirit communicator that you can feel and sense and know that is there, and they are giving the information. If it's psychism, you're reading a person, a place, or an object. So you're reading the energy of the space. That's how you define the difference between a psychic reading and a mediumship reading. Yeah, Phoenix, that seems like a reasonable thing. Letting the healing just kind of pass through you. That's a good way to go. But yeah, if you are interested in like genuine, real healing, I would check out Charlie Goldsmith. Where do you find my email? Is mediummichaelmayo, Mayo, @gmail.com. Where do we find your Monday class? You can email me at mediummichaelmayo@gmail.com and say I'm interested in the Monday at 3 p.m. Pacific mentoring slot. And I'd like to do, and it's a 12-week commitment. So, and if you want more information about it, you can look at mediummichaelmayo.com/mentoring. So yeah, we got a couple more minutes here, folks. I will likely be going live later. We're going to see how I feel. I'm a little off right now. So just like personally a little bit off. So I don't know if I'm going to be reading, but we'll see. We'll maybe read later tonight. You're welcome, Diamonds. Do you ever come across mediumship readings with a spirit that was not embodied as a human? Well, we wouldn't really necessarily call that mediumship if they weren't a human person. We would probably call that more of a psychic reading. Picking up the energy. Oh my Lord, hold on. Cats are doing crazy things. Hey, don't do that. Quit it. Yeah, cats be doing cats. Yeah, so we would call that probably something else. Probably wouldn't call it mediumship. Other questions as we wrap it up? We have a few minutes left, so I have time for a couple more. If you all have questions. Why did I think the blinds were to the outside at first? A lot of people wonder what's behind these walls. A lot of people go like, what is behind those? What's behind the curtain there? Namaste, Dirish. Nice to have you here. Thanks for being here. I've always thought that too. Yeah, no, the outsides are that way. For those of you who are watching via my phone, you can see the outside. Well, I guess you guys can sort of see it in the reflection there. So that's the outside. In case y'all are wondering, to give you a sense. What's the topic? It's kind of, well, we're just about to wrap up, but it's basically whatever questions you have about mediumship or psychic development. Thank you so much. I emailed you about your Monday class. Amazing. I think that would be a perfect fit if you're looking to develop with a teacher and learn mediumship. Happy to work with you. And that would be perfect because it's a beginning group. Does the healing work you do fall under psychism, or do you consider that a separate category? I tend to count healing as a form of mediumship because you are allowing the energy to pass through you. So you are being a channel for the energy. So I personally count it as a form of mediumship, healing. The category would be healing. So even though it's not spirit communication per se, it is a form of allowing energy to pass through you. How did you develop your mediumship and how long have you done it for? I developed my mediumship through attending weekly circles and then eventually traveling to the UK and working with Gordon Smith and Eileen Davies, who are some of the best, most incredible mediums you'll ever see, and that we have living today. And so I did that for many years, going back and forth. I have been developing my mediumship for 18 and a half years. In February, it'll be 19 years, which is crazy. So, yeah. I've been around the block. Okay, I'm in the UK. I think I saw you on a live with Stuart Pierce. Yes, you would have. That makes perfect sense because we did that together, and it was I really enjoyed that that conversation. He was lovely. Yeah. What a beautiful house. Thanks, Chelsea. I've seen enough to know the whole layout now. Good. So when you come over in the middle of the night, you'll know exactly how to get to my room. Let's see. I've seen working with Gordon Smith must have been amazing. It truly was. It truly, truly was. I will say that Eileen Davies is probably the best teacher of the topic, in that she's very good at undoing a lot of your challenges, and she's also very kind and incredible. So why does radio silence occur? Do you mean in the sense of connecting with the spirit, or what do you mean, angel? Mediumship isn't new to you. You have been remembering. Yeah, that may be true. That sounds right. Do you have to have a healthy lifestyle to improve your mediumship? Not really. Is it beneficial? Yes. Can you still be a medium even if you drink like a sailor and do all kinds of crazy things? For sure. But what I will say is that the better you feel, the better you're going to be for the spirit world, better use for the spirit world. So yeah. You don't have to have a perfectly healthy lifestyle, although that may be a byproduct of that. Nothing. Sometimes I get nothing psychic wise. Yeah, well, it could be because you're efforting or trying. So be sure to check the tension that you have. If you have an attachment to the outcome, it's the surefire way to block everything you're getting. If you feel pressure, thank you, Darish. That's very kind. Blessings to you too. What about Sunnyvale in New York or Casadega in Florida? Do you mean Lilydale? I think you mean Lilydale. They have towns where only mediums live. I've been to Casadega and got a lot of confirmation from them. Yeah. I think in some way I would offer that there was probably a time when they were really incredible, and I can't speak to all of them obviously because I don't know there, but I have seen mediums who work there, and yeah, I think there's some opportunity for growth for sure, in my opinion. Spiritual Lane, I think I answered that one. I said I don't know that the head traumas are necessary for mediumship ability, but I think through head traumas, some things have happened, like people understanding other languages or speaking with a weird accent or all kinds of things. So could it open something up? Potentially. And we all know that near-death experiences oftentimes open up people's mediumistic ability as well. Rachel says, if y'all haven't yet, please get Michael Mayo's book, Spirit Speaks. Really, really good. Thank you so much. That's very sweet. Yeah, I mean, overall, spiritualism is kind of a husk of what it used to be. I think there's a lot of well-meaning people who were taught incorrectly and end up kind of perpetuating that, and then you get this really like low grade mediocre mediumship. And then on top of that, once you start to put hierarchies and awards and titles and things like that, then it becomes a power grab, and then people start wanting to be special and unique, and they may not have mediumistic ability developed properly, or they may not have the vision, but they may have politics involved, and then that starts messing everything up. So yeah, I wish I could speak really fondly and proudly of many of like the spiritualist colonies, but to be honest, they haven't impressed me much, unfortunately. Now, that's not to say that there can't be individuals in those places that are quite amazing. So that is potential. There is a potential of that. I was sitting in the power today and I actually heard spirit speak in a different voice than was my own. It was amazing. The first time the voice was loud. Awesome. That sounds like there's a little bit of clairaudience coming in. Sorry, I had to leave to walk my dog. I think I might have missed your answer. You're welcome. Oh, no worries. I'm happy to re-answer it. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and leave that there for today, folks. I will likely be on later today. We'll see how I feel. I'm a little bit run down right now, but I will likely be on later to do readings. So yeah, if you want to do that, you can come back around 7 or 6:30 or something like that. So anyway, thank you, everybody. Thanks for being here. I will see you next week at 2.